hills rolling into the distance, reaching to touch the sky. You could stand there listening and hear the wind rustle in the grass and slip through the treeless air. You may have been on the Oregon Trail near Fort Laramie. There you would have heard a sound that has come to be a reflection of the Old West, the sound of bugles and drums. Today, amid the reconstructed buildings of Fort Laramie, you can imagine ghosts of the past lingering close. They move on a breath of air, stand on vacant porches, and block open doorways. They watch and listen to the wind, bugles and drums.
This is Casper Trooper country, and these are the Casper Troopers, a collection of young people gathered together and trained by the talented Jim Jones. Jones started the Corps because he had started as a junior Corps member years before. Remembering his own enthusiasm for the junior Corps, he presumed that the same enthusiasm would be present in the kids of today. Looking around at the troubles young people were having gave him the incentive and all the reasons he needed to start the Casper Troopers. It was the winter of 1957. They made their first appearance in the summer of '58 in a parade. The job of starting the Corps was so great, that was all they were able to do that first season. March in a parade, stay in step and play 3 or 4 numbers. They've come a long way since the beginning, but in the beginning, the best they could bring home was an 11th place in the VFW Nationals and an 11th place back on the East Coast in the World Open. After finishing 11th for a second time, the kids thought it would be a great idea to change their insignia from the 11th Ohio Cavalry to the 1st Ohio Cavalry so they could be finishing in first place. Since that humble beginning, the Troopers have won the World Open title 3 times, the VFW title twice, and the CYO title 3 times as a drum and bugle corps. They have won 10 national titles as a color guard and currently hold both the American Legion and the VFW titles. Last year, they also won the Midwest Circuit Color Guard Championship. The Troopers are currently #1 in the world.
Well, Bruce, you had a bad time last night, huh? I had a little bad time myself, you know. I remember you over there a little. You do.
Was there any there?
What?
Well, let's get back in line and take the go privilege. What's that? That's something we play once in a while. Thank you, people. You can stop that.
Wyoming, an enthusiastic group of kids with the steadfast support of their families and friends make up the Casper Troopers. It's an interesting story led by the diligent dedication of Jim Jones.
Just too soon at the bass horn. I think it's a top bass over here. Yes, that's supposed to be a crescendo, not a jump upward. Watch that, man, smooth it out. Your first note where the Bill started, you made it too loud. It was out of balance. All right, try it again. It's a soft spot. Make your corrections slowly and not less than 8 counts in an opening company front, in any kind of company front or large situation. The dress is centered. All right, let's continue from here. 4 for free, another drum start. Mark time. Hutch! 1, 2.
I thought I'd start a junior corps, remembering my own enthusiasm and presuming that that same enthusiasm would be present in the kids of today. And it was and is, as you can see. And so I started the corps. The corps name came after the uniform. We had the uniform for some time, and one time in just sitting around thinking, all of a sudden the word come to me that the cavalryman was a trooper. So I thought this would be a pretty good name for the corps.
Few notes there that are not quite right. I'd rather take the whole group's time to correct these things. We get together and have some sectional rehearsals, go over this number.
Very good. Boy, Keith, you and Paul ought to get coordinated in a minute.
Are you going to stay in corps this year, Molly?
Well, I don't know. I've been thinking, and since I'm a senior this year, I should have a job, and I should be making some money to go to college, but I kind of decided that after I'm 21, I can get a job, and after I'm 21, I can't be in corps. That's right. Are you going to stay in?
Well, I was going to quit, but I don't think I could now. I don't know. It's just, there's so much in it, you know, and it doesn't seem like anything else would even be worthwhile. You know, the instructors like Jack, they're so good in music, and they've taught me so many things about music that I never knew. I'd probably never get any place else.
Well, I don't think I'd ever started anything in music, you know, if it hadn't been for corps, because I don't play anything outside of corps, or I never started until then. That was what got me interested in it. You know, it makes me feel bad, Mr. Jones says, you're not going to let anybody in B-corps, you know, that has never played a cornet, and I never did.
I didn't either.
There are disciplines of the corps, the disciplines of learning to play an instrument. This in itself is a discipline, and it is a self-discipline because you can only teach them so much. They have to learn in the ultimate part of learning to play an instrument. They've got to go off by themselves, practice. And this is a discipline.
It's a great thing. I enjoy playing the instrument I play. That's my, what you might call my bag.
When you're a competitive organization, you want to compete with somebody and beat somebody. It has some significance. So our areas of competition are in the Chicago and close Wisconsin area. Chicago and the areas around there, they have drum and bugle corps. This is where we go for our principal competition, because there we can meet the finest corps and get the finest judging, get the best evaluation of our unit in comparison to another one. So it's only 1,100 miles to a contest. Where the Chicago corps are going 30 miles, 40 miles, there's 40 miles up to Racine or these little places around there, and they leave and they come back the same night. Well, we have to make a caravan out of it, and, you know, a big production that takes anywhere from 12 days to 14 days on a minimum to really do an effective competition swing. As long as you're there, you might as well stay and take in a couple more contests. So the first thought that occurred to me in order to save expenses was to promote a school gymnasium or an armory somehow for housing, and so that the Corps wouldn't be out any cost. You can understand that the Corps in those days maybe 60 people all told, and now it's 120 people, and housing for 120 people one night is expensive. So when it comes time to sleep, well, they get their bedrolls out, and they lay down, and they have a little relaxation. I let them laugh and play for 15 minutes maybe, and then lights out. And they're tired enough, they go to sleep.
And I think the thing that we're noted for most of all is our discipline. Yeah, right. Like some of the other Corps back there, they're really terrible. Like that one, they tore up the hotel. Yeah, and when people mention Corps, they say, I wish you were like the troopers because they have great discipline. And that's what holds our Corps together is our discipline.
I had no idea at all what it would be like. I just went one morning to try out, and I didn't have any hopes of all. Well, I wanted to get in, but I didn't think I would. I didn't think I had a chance. I was really surprised when I got in. And at the time, I didn't have any idea what it would lead to at all. And I didn't know that 4 years from then it would mean so much to me. And it does take a lot of time, but I enjoy it so much that I don't mind all the time that it takes. There are people in the Corps that you don't get along with, just like in your family, but you really feel close to them. Even if you don't get along with them, you feel like you're all working for the same thing, and that you feel just really close to. Like all my friends in Corps, they're all different. That's a really good thing too, because you're not around just the same people, the same kind of people. Each year, different kids get in, and they're all different. And some of them don't stay in. Some of them find that they don't like it. It's not for them. It's too hard work. But the ones that do stay in are all a lot different. It's such a great opportunity for people that, like when I'm at school and I'm around my school friends, I feel that they're really missing something. Of course, they have their own interests. Like a lot of them haven't even been outside Wyoming. I feel like they're missing so much because there's so many things in the country to see. And I feel like they're missing a big part of life by not knowing what it's like to really have to work hard for something you want. And the joy you have when you finally win. And of course there's a lot of sadness when you lose, but that's part of life. I'll probably be sad that I have to quit, but everybody has to quit when they're 21, but it's just part of growing up. I'll just have to realize that it's over and it's been a good part of my life.
Did you get my shoes out, Chris?
I very definitely wanted to avoid the errors that I had seen made with this other Corps that weren't really errors, but to change the setup so we wouldn't be beset with some of the problems that the other Corps had. That is, the pre-qualification of membership. So we decided to open it to any boy, and I checked some other Corps, and they had girl color guards, and some of them had girl playing members, so I said, any boy or girl. I mean, it's a youth activity. Let's take in all the kids in Casper. Anybody that wants to be in this organization could join it, which I think is certainly the best way, and we do a lot better community service rather than limiting to any set group. And we've had that policy since the beginning of boys or girls, and we're the first Corps that has won a national championship that has girls in the playing line.
lot of coordination, hours and hours of practice, tons of discipline, enthusiasm, and hard work to make the Corps what it is today. There's always some fun thrown in, too. That kind of balance, plus a lot of desire, helps them make it, brings them to a fine competitive edge. After all the practice and the warm-up parades are under their belts, one by one, they get ready for the grand competition. There's a quiet air of tenseness about these preparations, no matter how many times they've been through it. Suddenly, the kids are alone, thinking about their part, worrying about the whole Corps, doing the final grooming. Nervous excitement builds as they buckle up for that final moment. The big stadium and the huge crowds, and then there it is.
troopers are average kids from average families. They evidence a higher degree of maturity than their contemporaries because they learn to play musical instruments. They learn how to handle the equipment and in addition learn how to march with a very high degree of skill. This doesn't occur in just a week or a month. It takes a period of years to acquire the skills that are necessary to do this kind of performance. This means many hours of their own time at home all alone while they're working to acquire this skill. And in addition to that, many, many hours of rehearsal where we're together as a unit and working it out so we function as a group. We try to be perfectly coordinated. We strive always to reach perfection.
The American West is a land of opportunity, a land of courageous people striving for a new kind of freedom. The troopers, in name and appearance, reflect our Western heritage. They bring to mind the people who lived in the covered wagons, who built the sod huts, plowed the ground, raised the cattle, and made peace with the Indians. The troopers, in name and appearance, are what America was. The young men and women under the trooper banner are what America is.